Hey everyone, it's John Farrell from Well Database here. I wanted to take a minute and show you a few advanced features from our Well Database mapping system. Now, what we'll be looking at today are all features that are in the Plus and Pro accounts, and so if you are an Elite or Essential user, you will need to upgrade to use them. But no matter what, you can get a view of kind of why we created some of these tools and what you can do with them. So let's jump right in. The first thing I want to do is I want to kind of show I'm setting up a layer that I'm going to create. And this layer is going to be important to me because I'm thinking about how I want to compare a subset of wells to the kind of overall production data, try to understand the variance from where the like 20-year EUR hotspots are versus a set of wells that I'm digging into. So the first thing I need to do is that I need to establish kind of what that background layer, what wells that's going to include. So I'm in the Eagleford area here. I probably don't want wells that are super old, but the activity has waned since 2010. So we'll start since 2010. And it's going to give me some verticals. They're still going to be in there, especially on the outskirts and things. And so I'm going to I'm going to change it to just everything that's a horizontal well. So this is a really good background layer for what I'm about to dive into, and this will help me kind of identify where the hotspots are in this area. So now to create that data layer, I'm going to open up my tools, and under well layer on the right-hand side, you can click and say convert to data layer. So what this is going to do is going to take whatever filters that you've already applied, and it's going to generate a layer that's kind of just sets to the side that has its own visualization, its own interaction, and it doesn't interfere with your main layer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this one to the side, and then I'm going to use my main layer to kind of dig in a little bit deeper. So let me show you how that looks. I'll hit convert to data layer. Now I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to do an EUR map. So I'm going to say oil EUR since 2010. I can choose to make this interactive. I'll leave it interactive for now. I do like to turn the opacity down. What that's going to do is it's going to make it a little bit more faded into the background so it doesn't interfere so much with your primary layer. From the visualization type, though, I'm going to choose a grid map, and I will use the average, and I'll use a 20-year EUR oil number. Now, bin size is obviously a choice here. 2 miles is going to be a pretty good one for most of our horizontals that we're doing around here. But you can kind of alter this to whatever you like, as well as set your scale. I will use a dynamic scale by just leaving it as it is. But if you're looking for kind of hard cutoffs, or if you're using something like gas oil ratio, defining a scale is really useful. So I'm going to hit load, and what we will see is that the background layer will pop in, and on the tool side, I will see I have an EUR since 2010 layer. So now that that's popped in place, now you can see my other wells are sitting on top of those. As I zoom in a little bit, then we can, because I chose a dynamic scale, then you'll see that all of my wells, the scale for heat will change as you kind of change your view. So it's all dynamic based upon what I'm seeing. So this orange spot over here is the hottest spot in my current view, and some of these deeper blue ones in the northwest and southeast are going to be the colder spots. When I left that interactive on, what that does is it allows you to click on any of these grids, and it's going to tell you what the centroid, what the center point is, as well as what the numeric value, so the EUR number in here is. And if you want, you can create an AOI from that. So now it's going to zoom in just to those wells, and it's going to tell me exactly which wells were involved in that. This is where you might decide to pop open the analytics side, come into the overview, and we can look at the individual production for all of these wells. So again, nice and quick, easy way. And that is done because of the interactive option. If you turn that off, obviously you won't be able to click on the grid, and therefore it won't do that. It's just something to keep in mind though, because if you don't want to click on the grid and kind of create AOIs and things, and it gets super annoying whenever you're using the map and you're clicking and it keeps popping up on you. So I'm going to hide away this AOI real quick, kind of go back to just our map bounds. And then now I can do things like zoom into various areas. I can break down the operators in that area. I can evaluate wells. And what you'll notice is that if I come in, say, and pick a single operator now, as my kind of the operator I'm looking at. And so if I pick Devon here, then what happens is that I can view all of Devon's wells, and that background grid is still sticking around based off of those previous search criteria that I created. So even though there are no wells for Devon in some of these spots, it'll still show me that grid in the background so that then I can use these wells over the top. So that's how you can use data layers, and just one of several ways you can use data layers to kind of create a multi-dimensional map and allow you to dig in and kind of surface some of those insights. If you have any questions, reach out to us, welldatabase.com. We're always happy to help, and thanks for watching.